Hello students and welcome to my class. So how are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing well. So students, now let's move to our today's topic and let's see what are we going to learn today. So first of all, there is an image on your screen. So can you describe this image? Yes, in this image you can see the trees, okay, road, grasses, but there is a girl standing on the road, but her image is not clear. It's quite blurry, okay. You can see the other things clearly, but the girl is not clear. So what can you say? Why is this picture blurry? Like the front portion, the girl is blurry. Any idea? Or any guesses about today's topic? What are we going to learn today? Okay, now let's see what are we going to learn today and what is our next topic. Okay, first of all, tell me what differences can you see in these two images? The image 1 and the image 2. Okay, in this image you can see that the image is forming on the retina. Okay, this is the focal plane which is being drawn here, and here the image is being formed on the retina, and this is also the focal plane, and here the image is forming behind the retina, isn't it? In the previous class we have learned that the image was forming in front of retina, but in this the image is forming behind the retina. So what can you say? In which condition the image is formed behind the retina instead of retina? Yes, try to recall if you have any idea. Yes. Yes, there are some people in the class who were not able to see the nearby objects very clearly, isn't it? And there are some students who cannot see the farthest object clearly. Yes, anyone? So any idea why some people are not able to see the near objects and why some are not able to see the farthest away object? So what are those defects known as? Okay, yes. So today we are going to learn about hypermetropia. So now let's see. So hypermetropia is also known as farsightedness. It is also known as farsightedness. Okay. A person with hypermetropia can see the distant objects clearly but cannot see the nearby objects clearly. So in the first image, the image which I have shown in the first slide, the trees and the grasses were very far away while the girl who was standing on the road was quite near to our eyes. Okay, and that is why the picture of that girl was not clearly visible. It was not clear, while the other things, trees and roads and all, were very clear. Okay, so hypermetropia is also known as farsightedness. A person with hypermetropia can see the distant object clearly but cannot see the nearby objects distinctly. Okay, so now let's move further. So what are the reasons causing hypermetropia? Okay, in myopia, we were seeing that the image was forming in front of retina, but in hypermetropia, the image is forming behind the retina. Okay, so the possible reasons could be like the eyeball was very short, it was not elongated, or it was not that of that measurements which was required. Okay, so first reason could be the eyeball is very short. Okay, second maybe the irregular shape and size of cornea. Okay, the third possible reason may be the genetic defect. Okay, the genetic problems could be there. Okay, fourth must be the strain, stress. Okay, while we are we are so much of using the laptops, mobile phones and screens, so that could be the possible reasons causing hypermetropia. But if you have any other reasons instead of that reasons which I have explained, you can also write down your reasons causing hypermetropia in the chat box. So for now, I am moving ahead. So now let's see what is next. Yes, so there is a question for you. The defect of vision in which the person is able to see distant object distantly but cannot see nearby objects clearly is called. I have four options for you and I want you to choose the one option. So first option is long-sightedness, second is far-sightedness, third is hypermetropia, and fourth is all of the above. So kindly write down your answer in the chat box. So yes, the answer is all of the above because hypermetropia is known as far-sightedness and far-sightedness is also known as long-sightedness. So yes, the answer is D, all of the above. Now let's move on. Yes, this is the image. The first one and the second one. So what can you see in this image? In this image we can see that in the first image the eye is hypermetropic eye because the image is forming behind the retina. But in the second image we can see that the eye is not the normal eye but we are using a lens. We are using this lens for correcting this hypermetropia. Okay. So we are using the convex lens for correcting the hypermetropia. So what this lens is doing? Suppose there is a picture, okay, and when the light is passing through this picture, so then it passes through this lens. This lens converges the rays of light and it converges and goes to cornea. And from cornea it goes to pupil. Okay, from pupil it goes to aqueous humor, then it goes to vitreous humor, and that it converges on the retina and image is being formed on the retina. And this is how this lens is used for correcting the hypermetropia. Okay, so now I hope this diagram is clear to you. Okay, so now let's move further. Okay, which lens is used for correcting hypermetropia? I have shown you the lens. Okay, it is like this. The lens is somewhat like this, and I want you to tell me which lens is used for correcting hypermetropia. Okay, so the lens which was used for correcting the hypermetropia was convex lens. Okay, so now there is another image on the screen. In this image you can see that the person who was reading the book without spectacles, the things which were written on the book was not clear, but with the spectacles, the things are quite clear. It is readable. Okay, now let's see. So what is presbyopia? As people age, like as people become older, the lens becomes harder and less elastic. Our eye lens becomes harder and less elastic, making it more difficult for the eye to focus on the close objects. Okay, and it makes very difficult for the eye to focus on close objects and farthest objects. Okay, because of the less elasticity. Okay, so presbyopia is a vision defect. So presbyopia is a vision defect. Let me mark. So presbyopia is a vision defect that happens due to weakening of ciliary muscles of the eye lens. So presbyopia happens due to weakening of ciliary muscles of the eye lens. Yes. Okay, so weakening of ciliary muscle causes the presbyopia. So presbyopia is typically present in the individuals aged 40 years and above. So yes, the individual who are at 40 years of age and more than 40 years, there are chances to get there are chances for them to get the presbyopia kind of disease or kind of defect. Okay, so the people who are at 40 years and above 40 years should avoid using more mobile phones, screens, laptops and computer. They should avoid that. Okay, Now let's move. Okay, some of the common visual symptoms. What are the common visual symptoms? Okay, so now let's read here. So first one is having difficulty reading small print. Okay, this is the first one. The second one is requiring recurring brighter light when reading. Recurring brighter light when reading. Having eye strain or headache when reading or doing work close up. Okay, difficulty focusing on objects that are nearer. Sometimes it happens that some objects are like nearby but we were not able to focus on that, so this also is a common visual symptoms, and if you have any one of them symptoms in you, you should go to doctor for the check. Okay, so now the next question is how can we correct the presbyopia? So what are the possible ways of correcting the presbyopia? Okay, so you can write down your answers in the chat box. If you have any idea how do we correct the presbyopia, so you can write down. So I have mentioned here the correction for presbyopia. Presbyopia can be managed with glasses, okay, with the glasses, with contact lenses or surgery. Okay, this defect is usually corrected by using glasses with bifocal lens. Which lens? Bifocal lens. Okay, the upper part of lens is concave. The upper part of lens is concave lens. Corrects myopia to see the distant objects clearly, while the lower part of lens has a convex lens. Corrects the hypermetropia. Okay, to see the nearby objects clearly. So in presbyopia, what happens is that the person having both the problems, myopia and the hypermetropia, and that is why in the lens, bifocal lens, the upper part of the lens is concave lens and the lower part of the lens is convex lens. Okay, so now let's see what is written further. So yes, there is a question for you. Dash is a vision defect that happens due to weakening of ciliary muscles of the eye lens. So it is presbyopia is a vision defect that happens due to weakening of the ciliary muscles of the eye lens. Okay. Here are the options: myopia, presbyopia, hypermetropia, and none. So answer is presbyopia. You can also write down your answers in the chat box, and I will look after it. Okay. So everyone need to write down their answers. So now let's move further. So second question is bifocal lens is used for correcting presbyopia. So you have to write T for true, F for false. So is this statement true or false? So yes, it is true. This statement is true. We use bifocal lens for correcting presbyopia. Now let's move further. Okay students, so now it's time to recapitulate whatever we have studied till now. So students, today we have learnt about hypermetropia. It causes entry bleach. Also we have studied how to correct hypermetropia. We have to use which kind of lens and how the lens is helping us for correcting hypermetropia. Okay. Next is presbyopia. It causes and correction. We have also studied about the presbyopia, why presbyopia is caused and how can we correct it. Okay. So there is a question: in hypermetropic eye, the image of a nearby object is formed. Here are four options and you need to tick the right options, or also you can write the right option in the chat box. So first option is at retina, second option in front of retina, third option above the retina, fourth behind the retina. So the right answer is option D, behind the retina. As we have seen that in hypermetropic eye, the image was forming behind the retina here. Okay, now what is presbyopia? So I want you to write the answer in your own words. What is presbyopia? You can write down your answers in the chat box and later on I will look into it. And I hope this is clear to all of you up till here. Okay, so now let's move further. Okay, students, so there is a time for homework. So I have two questions for you in your homework today. The first is draw a well-labeled diagram of normal and hypermetropic eye. Okay. So you need to draw the well-labeled diagram of a normal eye and you have to draw the hypermetropic eye, and in that you have to show how the image formation takes place. Okay. And where the image is formed in normal eye as well as in hypermetropic eye. The second question is write a short note on presbyopia, its symptoms and corrections. And also I have mentioned a link there. So what you have to do is first of all watch that video through this link, go through this link on the YouTube, watch the video, and after that you need to write a short note on presbyopia. Okay. So you have to write what is presbyopia, what are its symptoms and how to correct it. Okay. So this is all you have to write. So I hope the homework part is clear to you all. So that's all for today's class. Thank you and have a nice day.